Speaking of weather, First Alert Chief Meteorologist Paul Heggen is back to talk about the impact of the wildfires closer here to home to our air quality. We've been feeling it recently.
Yeah, we're definitely going to see that haze on the horizon from time to time, but I think ground level air quality isn't going to be too bad. The heat dome is trying to reestablish itself. That's a big area of high pressure in the upper levels of the atmosphere. We're not talking about a return to the really hot temperatures that we had a few weeks ago, but it's going to be running above average for inland parts of the Bay Area over the next few days. These areas of high pressure also tend to trap any pollution near ground level, whether it's wildfire smoke or urban pollution. And the position of this is also grabbing some monsoonal moisture and then sending it up towards California, which is going to be more of a factor by the end of the week and into the weekend. The possibility of some dry lightning strikes escalating the threat of additional wildfires being started. The Air Quality District has just kind of gone with a general moderate air quality forecast across the entire Bay Area through the end of the work week and over the weekend. But like today, when we had good air quality across most of the Bay Area, there are going to be plenty of pockets where the air quality is going to remain in that good category. The worst it's going to be is moderate as we head through the next several days. Temperatures did definitely take a step upward today. Current temperatures across the Bay Area, a real mix. We've got 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. Inland in the North Bay, we are talking about temperatures that are a mix of 70s and 80s. But you find the 90s as you go farther to the east. 92 degrees in Fairfield and Concord, also 92 degrees in Antioch. Contrast that with 67 comfortable degrees in San Francisco. It's only 60 right now in Pacifica. Temperatures have made it up into the mid 80s around Fremont, upper 70s for Redwood City, with temperatures in the Santa Clara Valley getting back up into the 80s, even flirting with 90 degrees this afternoon. It's not substantially above average, but it is above normal for this time of year. And while the fog is going to help to put the brakes on the warm up tomorrow, the fog is going to try to be sneaking inside the bay and making a push into the inland valleys by early tomorrow morning. Fairly compact layer of fog. The weight of the atmosphere on top of us, that heat dome, is going to be pushing it down towards ground level, which means a shallow layer of fog that shouldn't have too much trouble backing up towards the coast. Let's talk about the forecast for tonight's game against the A's for the Giants. It's the Bay Bridge series, so regardless of which side of the bay you support, conditions looking pretty good at Oracle Park. Temperature in the mid 60s right now. We're going to be in that neighborhood for 6:45 of the first pitch. Temperatures dropping down to around 60 degrees for the rest of the game as the fog is going to be spreading out across the city and making that push across the bay into the early inland valleys. Temperatures tonight dropping down to the 50s. Kind of zoom past that. Let's take a look at our forecast highs for tomorrow. Low 60s for the coast, mostly 80s down the peninsula and into the Santa Clara Valley. Some of the hottest spots around 90 degrees. East of the Oakland Hills, mostly low to mid 90s. Just a couple spots lucky enough to stay in the upper 80s. 60s in San Francisco, 70s for Oakland and the East Bay, with temperatures in the North Bay low to mid 80s until you go farther north, where you're more likely to flirt with 90 around Windsor or get well into the 90s for inland Mendocino County and Lake County. But even the hotter temperatures aren't going to represent a return to that extreme heat we had in early July. Moderate heat risk is the worst that we're going to see tomorrow. A slight decrease in temperatures on Friday sends us back to more that low heat risk, and then a little bump up on Saturday expands the orange area with a moderate heat risk once again. But if we're avoiding the red or purple on the map indicating a high or extreme heat risk, then we are doing just fine for the first days of August. Let's check out the 7-day forecast, and we'll start with inland parts of the Bay Area, which are going to be running in the low to mid 90s as we head through the next several days. Temperatures around the bay not changing a whole lot. We got up into the 70s for the most part today, and that's where we're going to be as we head into early next week, with morning fog and cloud cover giving way to afternoon sunshine, while along the coast, low 60s continue. At best, maybe sneaking up to the mid 60s, but abundant cloud cover. Lots of fog and even occasional drizzle, making you kind of fiddle with the windshield wipers, trying to find that right intermittent setting whenever the fog is really thick, like it was last night. Liz?
All right, Paul. Thank you so much.